It's a new day. Fractured headlines here. It's been a few days since I posted, but it's time to talk about how things are going again. And how are things going? Well, not that well in Minneapolis. Not that well in many other cities in the country where there is an invasion going on. Donald Trump's personal army, his poorly regulated militia, is out there shooting people. Last count I heard, 9 people, nine shootings. And this one in Minneapolis, we all saw what happened. The official story is a lie. Kristi Noem and Donald Trump and Mike Johnson and the whole disreputable crew jumped in there with the story of a weaponized vehicle. Folks, I don't think so. I think that was just a scared lady trying to get out of there, realizing she was in a bad place. And then a guy killed her for no good reason, because he didn't know enough to get out of the way of a car that was moving. Has basic knowledge, especially if you're working on the street, you don't get in front of a car. You let a car go by. If a car is moving, you don't get in front of it and create a confrontation and then shoot that driver. That's murder. That's all that is. It's pure and simple murder. However, the powers that be, morning. The powers that be don't want you to believe your own eyes. You saw a lady say, "Dude, I'm not mad at you," to the cop as she was driving away, and the guy shot her. Can this be a turning point? Is this going to be an opportunity for the country to hit the reset button on all this? Is it reasonable for ICE agents and immigration, National Guard, is it reasonable for these people to be in our communities doing only God knows what? No, it's not. On the way to the beach this morning, I saw a military vehicle. First time ever in all these years here, saw a military vehicle. I don't know if it's part of a convoy or what it was doing, but I thought, oh no. Is the National Guard coming here? Is immigration on the way here? Oh, we probably have some people with messed up paperwork. Is that a reason to take over this place? How about your place? You know, some of the best people in this country are the most recent arrivals. I gotta tell you that. It's the truth. Some of the hardest working, most sincere, kindest people that you will run into are the recent arrivals. And give us your huddled masses yearning to be free is our credo. That's what we believe. We believe that people from other places have a right to come here and improve their lives. It's always been a basic tenet of the American experiment. We take in people who are fleeing oppression and poverty and terrorism. And now what we're seeing with this ICE invasion of our cities is an unregulated presidential militia which has been trained to bully. Trained to bully. Their training is incomplete because they don't understand how things work out on the street. If you're a cop, if you're a fireman, a cab driver, you get out of the way of a car. You don't get in front of a car. You get out of the way of a car. That way there's no confrontation. Now this officer, not even an officer, this schlub who got recruited to work for ICE, and he probably got enticed by the big bonus and chance to wear a gun and cosplay someone with authority. It was totally unqualified. This guy didn't get adequate training. Besides that, training for what? It's a bullshit job. You know, I saw in the news 2,000 immigration officers going to Minneapolis. That makes no sense at all. 0 sense. Is Minneapolis on the southern border? Shit, is it even on the northern border? No, it's kind of in the middle of Minnesota there. Not particularly famous for having lots of people who don't belong there, and not particularly famous for having a high rate of crime. High rate of crime, you want to go straight to the White House. Plenty of crime going on there. That's where your big criminal sits right now. Everybody else is a little criminal. Yeah, the big cheese, the mob boss, the guy calling the hits on average citizens like Miss Good. That guy. The guy who enriches himself because he's the president. The head criminal. That's in Washington. That's not in Minneapolis. Crime is a Washington problem. More specifically, it's a Trump family problem. I hate to even talk about who belongs in this country and who doesn't belong in this country. You know? Unless you're one of the original, a member of one of the original Aboriginal tribes, unless you're like Calusa or, you know, Cherokee or Iroquois or Apache, then you probably can't really claim that you or yours belong here. You got lucky. You got lucky. Your ancestors did the hard work of coming over here and getting established, and you were just born into it. Lucky you. Well, other people have had to come at it a more difficult way in modern times. Now the paperwork is onerous. It used to be you went through Ellis Island with a minimum of fuss. You were registered and perhaps in an act of American shorthand or even assigned a new name. Very possible. And then you were part of the country. Then it was up to you to learn some English and assimilate and join the American throng in its quest for happiness and prosperity and enjoyment of peace and freedom. Current administration is making that difficult. And we have the unseemly spectacle of folks who have lived in this country for most of their lives, or for the last 10, 20 years, and they've fully integrated into American society. They've got jobs, they're raising families, they've got houses, their kids go to school here. And some of those people are getting scooped up because of some wrinkle in their paperwork. So ridiculous, you know. Then you got American citizens getting scooped up. In this case, Miss Good, an American citizen, she got shot for her troubles. Shot dead in her own car, in her own town, by people who had no business being there. So yeah, you're going to be told the lie over and over again now by every Republican talking head who can wedge his lying ass onto TV. They're all going to tell you the same thing. Oh, weaponized car trying to run over the guy. Bullshit. Slippery, icy Minneapolis street. A woman who is not a professional driver, in a bad place, just trying to get away from masked terrorists who had no business being in her town. Now, she may have been trying to block the road for half a minute, but when they told her to move, she was moving, she was leaving, she was trying to leave. You don't shoot somebody for that. That guy is a murderer. And the person who sent him there, unnecessarily, Donald Trump, is the accomplice to a murderer. It's kind of the same deal we saw with January 6th. You've got an idiot in the White House directing a large group of idiots to go do idiotic things. And gosh, who could have seen it coming? Somebody gets shot by the name of good. Good is destroyed by evil. Good is killed by evil. And evil is ICE. And evil is Trump. And evil is Trump's enabler, the pasty-faced Mike Johnson, who will pretzel his way around any bullshit that Trump dreams up and tell us that it's good. It tastes good and it's good for you. You should have a second helping of it. It's hard to find a good person in that administration at this point. The first administration, there were at least a few people who were adults and trying to keep Donald Trump in check. But this time around, holy shitskis. There are no adults in the room. Dr. Oz? RFK Jr.? Kristi Noem? Marco Rubio? Marco Rubio, what a sycophant. That guy got right down on his knees the minute Trump said, "Get on your knees." Boy, he was down there working the zipper. Terrible guy. And Pete Hegseth? Worthless. Worthless. Terrible guy. Terrible guy. No business having. In a perfect world, Pete Hegseth would be dropping off a load of soda at the 7-Eleven. You just happen to run into him while you're in there buying a coffee. And he's the guy with the hand cart bringing in the Pepsi and giving everybody a big smile. That'd be Pete Hegseth in a perfect world. He's not Secretary of Defense, he's a Pepsi driver. That's about where he should be. And then drink all the beer you want on a weekend there, Pete. Oh, if I get this job, I'll quit drinking. Really? Wow. Big fucking deal. You know? Anyhow, the official story is a lie. But you knew that. The official story is always a lie these days. Hey, this is Fractured Headlines. Catch you on the next video, you guys.